Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really laser focused on something critical for anyone running a hotel.
Yeah, we're looking at that intersection of, the latest tech and rock solid security.
Exactly. Thinking ahead to 2025, we've got industry reports on hotel tech, cybersecurity analyses specifically for hospitality, and some really interesting stuff on facility management.
That's right. And for you listening, our goal is simple. Take all this info and pull out the absolute key insights.
Right. We want to give you a clear, efficient handle on the essential technologies and the challenges you'll face, but without making your head spin.
Think of it as your fast track to being, well, fully up to speed.
Precisely. We're
Yeah.
exploring everything from, let's say, the hotel's central nervous system, the property management system,
Hmm.
to the often unsung hero, facility management, making sure everything runs smoothly.
And of course, that ever-present need to defend against cyber threats.
Couldn't be more relevant.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive straight in with something foundational. The Hotel Property Management System, the PMS. What is it, really, and why is it so vital?
Well, fundamentally, a PMS is the core software. It's like the hotel's mission control, or maybe its brain.
The brain, I like that.
Yeah, it manages everything from the moment someone books a room right through to checkout. It holds all the crucial info,
Mhm.
reservations, guest profiles.
Preferences, past stays, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Plus, real-time room status, rates. It's truly the backbone of the day-to-day operation.
Sounds like it touches almost every single guest interaction then.
It really does.
So what are some tangible ways it makes a difference? How does it, improve things on the ground?
Oh, it has a huge impact, several key areas. At the front desk, for instance, a modern PMS offers these really user-friendly interfaces.
Makes check-in faster.
Way faster check-in, check-out, which, let's face it, every traveler appreciates. Plus, many now have mobile app features, so guests can even do some things themselves.
Oh, right, like mobile check-in.
Exactly, more convenient. Then there's housekeeping and maintenance. The PMS helps manage guest requests. You can create custom workflows, work orders.
Streamlines things.
Totally. And maybe even more importantly, it helps you proactively schedule maintenance upgrades.
Ah, so you can minimize rooms being out of service.
Precisely. That reduces downtime, keeps revenue flowing. It's a huge efficiency win.
Absolutely. Keeping those rooms bookable is key.
Right.
Now, what about the money side, the financials? How does the PMS fit in there?
It's absolutely vital for revenue management. It helps set dynamic pricing strategies, to maximize occupancy.
Right.
And crucially, it connects with channel management systems. This is really key for any hotelier listening.
Channel management. So
Yeah.
distributing rooms to Expedia, Booking.com, places like that.
Exactly. OTAs, global distribution systems for travel agents, and your own hotel website, of course.
And the PMS handles that automatically.
Yep. It pushes out availability and pricing everywhere. Centralized control. It means a wider reach, better occupancy, without manually updating tons of systems. A huge boost.
That makes complete sense. And nowadays, staff aren't just chained to a desk, are they? There's mobility.
Not at all. Mobility and real-time management are, well, essential now. Many PMS vendors offer mobile apps for staff.
So housekeeping can update room status on the go.
Right, or maintenance can manage requests. We're also seeing more automation pre-arrival check-in, automated checkout.
Okay.
And with cloud-based systems becoming more common, managers can often access critical data, system controls remotely.
From anywhere.
Pretty much real-time insights into occupancy, financials, huge flexibility.
You mentioned cloud-based. Are the old-style on-premise systems still around? What's the difference for a hotel manager?
Yeah, they both still exist. On-premise means the software is on servers right there in the hotel.
So the data's physically on site.
Right.
Some might feel that's more secure.
That's the perceived benefit, yeah.
Yeah.
But the hotel is then responsible for all the maintenance, the security updates, the hardware costs.
Right, that falls on them.
Whereas cloud-based PMS is hosted remotely by the vendor. The big plus there is remote access, often no per-device license fees.
Could save money.
Potentially, yes. The trade-off is needing a stable internet connection. But back to security. It's worth thinking about this. Reputable cloud providers often invest way more in security and expertise than a single hotel ever could.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So that feeling of security with on-premise might be a bit outdated.
In many cases now, perhaps, yeah. The cloud vendors often have dedicated security teams, advanced infrastructure.
Okay, so looking ahead, what's exciting? What's next for PMS tech?
This is where it gets really interesting. We're seeing this major shift towards API-powered ecosystems.
API. Application programming interface.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically a way for different software systems to talk to each other, share data seamlessly, like a universal translator for programs.
And so it connects things.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it's allowing for much deeper, much more valuable integration between the PMS and other critical hotel tools.
Can you give some examples? What does that actually let a hotel do?
Sure. Take CRM systems, customer relationship management.
Right, for tracking guest loyalty and preferences.
Yeah. With API integration, the PMS gets that richer guest understanding from the CRM. This enables dynamic personalization, like
yeah.
automatically offering a room upgrade during check-in to a top-tier loyalty member based on their CRM profile,
Wow.
all triggered smoothly by the PMS.
Wow, okay. That's pretty seamless.
It is. We're also seeing unified command centers for hotel chains.
Managing multiple properties from one place.
Yep. Using APIs to pull everything together. Bookings, revenue, guest comms, inventory across all their hotels. It's about getting that holistic view, streamlined control.
That sounds incredibly powerful, both for efficiency and keeping guests happy. What other systems typically link up with a PMS these days?
Oh, quite a few.
Yeah.
You've got the central reservation system, CRS, managing inventory and rates across all channels.
Right.
Dedicated revenue management systems for pricing optimization. Booking engines for the hotel's own website.
For bookings?
Yep. Channel managers, like we discussed, pushing inventory to OTAs, hotel CRMs for guest relationships, and point-of-sale POS systems.
For the restaurant, the bar, the spa.
Exactly. Anywhere you make a sale within the hotel.
It helps to see how those pieces fit.
Yeah.
You mentioned POS. What's the key difference between a PMS and a POS system? Why does that distinction matter?
Good question. While they both deal with money, they have distinct roles. The PMS is the big picture reservations, rooms, guests, the whole operation.
The conductor, like you said.
Right. The POS is specifically for processing sales transactions happening within the hotel, that meal, that spa treatment.
Got it.
The POS handles the immediate sale, the payment, but it usually integrates with the PMS to post those charges to the guest's final bill.
Okay, so PMS manages the stay, POS manages the individual purchases during the stay, and they talk to each other.
You've got it. PMS is the orchestra conductor. POS is the instrument playing the tune for each specific sale.
Great analogy. Now, we always like to bring in real-world views.
Oh.
Our research dipped into some hotelier discussions about their PMS experiences. What came up there?
Yeah, hearing from people using these systems daily is invaluable. Several names popped up. Preno got mentioned, easy to use, good dynamic pricing for smaller places.
Right.
Stay in Touch was praised for being intuitive, easy staff training and good personalization features.
It makes sense.
Opera came up a lot, both the traditional version and the newer cloud one.
Any difference in feedback there?
Yeah, one hotelier specifically said Opera Cloud felt way more connected, more customizable than the older version, which really backs up that trend towards integrated cloud solutions we were talking about.
Interesting.
Muse was seen as powerful, but maybe a bit pricey for smaller hotels.
Right. Depends on the budget and scale.
Totally. Others like Hotel Key, Room Key, Jonas Quorum, and Infra HMS were mentioned too. Infra HMS had kind of mixed reviews, it seemed.
So definitely no single best system. It really depends on the hotel's specific situation.
Absolutely. Size, budget, specific needs.
On a related note, our research also touched on hotel management contracts. How do those costs sit alongside tech investments like a PMS?
Right. It's not a direct tech cost, but it's a major operational expense. When owners hire a management company, those contracts usually involve fees based on a percentage of the hotel's gross operating revenue.
And how much are we talking?
It varies quite a bit. Generally, somewhere between, say, 4% and 12%. Depends on the hotel size, brand, location, the services included.
Wow. 4 to 12% of gross revenue is significant.
It really is. It highlights how crucial it is to carefully choose that management partner and understand the value they bring. It directly hits the bottom line.
Absolutely. A big piece of the financial puzzle. Okay, so we've got the PMS, the central brain. Let's shift focus now to the physical side, facility management, FM. Making sure the building itself runs smoothly. What does FM actually cover in a hotel?
At its core, facility management is about coordinating everything to do with the physical space, the infrastructure, the people using it, the organization itself.
So managing the building and how it's used.
Pretty much. In a hotel, that means managing the building structure, the essential systems, and the services that support guests and staff.
Okay.
The goal is to integrate maintenance, safety, efficiency, and comfort to ultimately support the hotel's business goals.
It sounds incredibly broad. Are there different types of FM?
Yeah, it's usually broken down into two main buckets, hard FM and soft FM.
Hard FM.
That's the physical stuff, the building fabric, HVAC systems, plumbing, electrics, lighting, structural maintenance, the tangible assets.
Okay, the infrastructure itself and soft FM.
Soft FM is more about the services supporting the people inside, things like cleaning, security personnel, landscaping, waste management, even coordinating event setups.
Got it. Hard is the building,
Yeah.
soft is the services that make it work for people.
Mhm.
Who's typically in charge of all this?
Usually a facilities manager or an FM team. It's a critical role needing both strategic planning and operational know-how.
Strategic, like planning future space needs.
Exactly. Planning space, services, managing budgets, assessing risks, and operationally, they ensure the place is safe, efficient, and cost-effective day to day.
And what are some of those key day-to-day tasks for Hotel FM?
It's a long list. EHS, environment, health, and safety is huge. Compliance, safe environment,
Crucial.
fire safety, maintaining alarms, sprinklers, extinguishers, physical security, upkeep of locks, cameras, general maintenance, testing, inspections.
Preventive stuff to stop problems?
Yep, preventive and remedial when things break. Often managed using CIFM systems, computer-aided facility management.
Software to track it all.
Exactly. Tracks requests, schedules tasks, manages asset info digitally, makes it much more organized than paper logs.
What else?
Includes routine stuff like painting, plumbing, managing cleaning schedules, reactive cleaning needs, operational tasks like help desks for staff issues, business continuity planning.
For emergencies.
Right, and even managing space allocation, internal moves, considering fire safety, lighting, all that.
That is a lot to juggle. Technology must help here, right? Our research mentioned HotelKit software for FM. What does it do?
Yeah, HotelKit is a great example of tech transforming FM in hotels. Its main focus is better team communication and smoother workflows.
How so?
It gives a central place to manage assets, helps automate preventive maintenance schedules.
So equipment gets checked regularly.
Right. Features include maintenance calendars, automated reminders. There's a mobile app so staff can easily report repairs, even attach photos.
Oh, the photos must help.
Definitely adds clarity. It also has task prioritization tools, and importantly, it can integrate with the PMS.
Linking maintenance to room status.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for the maintenance team, it means faster repairs, all the info in one spot, fewer phone calls and mix-ups.
Sounds much more efficient. Any other interesting tech tools for FM?
Yes, NFC tags, near-field communication are becoming more common.
Those little tags you tap with your phone.
That's them. Attach them to equipment, staff scan them with a mobile device, instant access to manuals, maintenance history. You can even use them to digitally log inspections or walkthroughs. Much better than paper.
Definitely moving towards digital. The research also mentioned integrated facilities management, IFM. What's that about?
IFM is basically about consolidating all the different FM services under one umbrella, one discipline.
Instead of separate teams or contracts for cleaning, security, maintenance.
Exactly. Instead of silos, IFM brings it all together under a single point of responsibility. The idea is to get a better, safer, more efficient environment by really integrating the people, processes, and tech involved.
A move away from potentially fragmented old-school methods.
Yeah, moving away from maybe handling things independently, sometimes still using pen and paper for tracking.
What are the big advantages for a hotel adopting IFM?
The benefits can be pretty significant. Cost savings is often a big driver consolidation, better procurement.
Makes sense.
It also lets the hotel's core management focus more on hospitality, less on managing lots of different FM vendors.
Frees them up.
Right. Operations get streamlined, better communication, better visibility. You can share best practices more easily.
And for guests?
Potentially faster response times for maintenance or service requests because the workflows are more integrated.
So, real efficiencies, and maybe a better guest experience too. Our sources mentioned Cloud Apper's Facility Manager as another tool. How does that fit in it?
Yeah, Cloud Apper's tool is another example of software designed to support that integrated approach.
Helps manage everything centrally.
Exactly. Managing maintenance, safety checks, compliance, all from one platform. Tools like this are key to breaking down those traditional FM silos and getting that holistic view you need for effective IFM.
Okay, so we had the PMS brain, FM managing the body. Now the critical shield, cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Why is it just so crucial for hotels heading towards 2025?
It's become absolutely non-negotiable. Hotels handle so much sensitive data.
Credit cards, obviously.
Credit cards, personal contact info, travel plans, even guest preferences.
Right.
The list goes on. Protecting all that from breaches, from ransomware, it's not just about rules and regulations. It's fundamental to protecting the hotel's reputation. Guests need to feel safe and secure giving you their information.
And a breach can be devastating financially and reputationally.
Absolutely. Huge fines, legal costs, but maybe worse is that loss of customer trust. That can kill future business.
Yeah. Our research used the 5 C's of cybersecurity as a framework. Can you walk us through those quickly?
Sure, it's a handy way to think about it. First is change, constantly updating software, passwords, access rights to tackle new threats.
Staying current.
Second, compliance, meeting industry standards like PCI DSS for payment cons, GDPR for personal data. It's about fulfilling obligations.
Got it.
Third, cost, investing smartly in security, but also understanding the huge potential cost of not investing enough.
Balancing act.
Fourth, continuity, having solid backup and disaster recovery plans so you can get back online quickly after an incident.
Planning for the worst.
And fifth, coverage, getting comprehensive cyber insurance to help cover the financial fallout if an attack succeeds, data recovery costs, legal fees, reputation repair. It's risk management.
That makes sense. A multi-layered approach.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly is a data breach for a hotel?
Simply put, it's when private or confidential info gets accessed or released to someone who shouldn't have it.
Could be hacking, could be accidental.
Exactly. Intentional attacks, malware, but also human error or just weak security. Because hotels collect so much personal data, they're really attractive targets.
And the fallout.
Breaches can expose everything from emails to credit card numbers. We've seen the headlines, massive fines, lawsuits, and that long-term damage to trust and loyalty.
What are the most common threats hotels face right now?
Well, malware is always a big one. Viruses, trojans, spyware, ransomware.
Ransomware seems particularly nasty.
It can be devastating, yeah. Encrypting systems, demanding payment. Hotels absolutely need good anti-malware, antivirus software, and crucially, staff training to spot suspicious emails and links.
Okay. What else?
Spam. Seems like just an annoyance, but it can deliver malware or phishing attempts. Good filters help, plus educating staff not to click unsubscribe on dodgy emails or give out emails unnecessarily.
Right.
And then denial of service, DOS attacks, flooding a hotel's website with traffic to shut it down.
Disrupting online bookings.
Exactly. Those are tough to predict or totally prevent, which emphasizes needing strong network security overall.
Sadly, some big hotel names have been hit hard. Our research mentioned Marriott, IHG. What are the lessons there?
Yeah, those are definite warnings. The Marriott breach, linked to the Starwood database hack, affected potentially hundreds of millions.
Huge.
A key lesson. Do thorough cyber due diligence when buying another company. Even if the breach happened before, the new owner often carries the can, reputationally and financially.
Good point. What about IHG?
That involved malware on front desk payment systems in over 1,000 hotels, stealing card data, shows how vulnerable POS systems are, need security at every touch point.
And
Hilton got fined for how they handled past breaches, highlights you need not just security, but also prompt, proper notification to customers if something happens. Due care matters.
Right.
Wyndham faced lawsuits after multiple breaches over years, causing customer losses, shows the legal risks of repeated failures.
And it's not just hotels themselves, right? Expedia orbits too.
Exactly. Even the big online travel agencies are targets. Nobody in the ecosystem is immune. These all show that threats evolve constantly. Proactive, layered security isn't optional. It's essential for business survival.
Really drives home the risk. Now, hotels also have specific rules to follow, like PCI, DSS, and GDPR. Can you break those down?
Absolutely. PCI DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. It's the rule book for handling credit card info set by the card company.
Mandatory.
Absolutely mandatory. Fail compliance, you face big fines, higher fees, maybe even lose the ability to take card payments. Crippling for a hotel.
So what do hotels need to do for PCI DSS?
Key things include have a dedicated compliance person, train staff regularly on security, protect physical data, strictly control system access, check vendor security, secure online booking data.
A lot to cover?
Yeah, and they often use self-assessment questionnaires, SAQs, to check their compliance level.
Okay. And GDPR, how does that affect hotels, especially with international guests?
GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. It's EU law protecting personal data of EU residents. It applies to any hotel processing data of people in the EU, no matter where the hotel is.
Big reach.
Huge. A core principle is needing explicit informed consent to collect and use personal data, especially for marketing.
No more pre-ticked boxes.
Definitely not. Consent needs to be freely given, specific, informed, and unambiguous. Hotels must be clear why they need the data and get a clear yes.
Right.
They also need ways for people to see, change, or delete their data and a clear privacy statement. Fines for non-compliance are massive, so it's critical if you have EU guests.
Another key thing we looked at was HTTPS for hotel websites. That SAs and the padlock symbol. Why is that so important?
Oh, HTTPS is vital now. It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. It builds trust and secures online transactions on your website.
How does it secure them?
The ES means the connection between the guest's browser and your server is encrypted. So personal details, payment info sent during booking, it's scrambled, protected from eavesdroppers.
And the padlock.
That's the visual cue in the browser bar. Tells users the site is secure, builds confidence. Plus, search engines like Google favor HTTPS sites.
SEO benefits too.
Yep, and browsers often warn users about non-secure HTTP sites now. HTTPS can even make sites load faster. For direct bookings and online credibility, it's a must-have.
So security, trust, even search rankings.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Our research also mentioned the ongoing issue of hotel credit card breaches. Why are hotels still such a target?
It really comes down to the sheer volume of online bookings and card not present, or CNP, transactions. Criminals know hotels process tons of card data daily.
And they can't just stop taking online bookings.
No way, it's essential. So hotels need robust security and vigilance. Tips include being wary of unusually rushed bookings, super cautious with first-time guests making large bookings.
Red flags.
Yeah, maybe inconsistencies in addresses or contact info, just generally trying to verify anything that feels off. And training staff to spot potential fraud is key, too.
Okay. And what about phishing? Those fake emails trying to trick people? How do they target hotels?
Phishing is super common. Scammers try to trick staff into giving up logins, financial details, or clicking malicious links or attachments.
How might they look in a hotel context?
They might pretend to be management, a colleague, maybe a trusted supplier like your PMS vendor or an OTA, often asking you to urgently click something or provide info.
To steal data or get into systems?
Exactly. Staff need training to spot the signs, generic greetings, urgent threats, bad spelling or grammar, weird attachments, links that don't match where they claim to go.
Hovering over the link helps there.
Definitely. And suspicious sender addresses. Prevention means good anti-malware, keeping software updated, scrutinizing emails, maybe testing links safely, verifying requests through official channels. And again, regular, thorough staff training.
That training point keeps coming up. Seems the human element is key. What other basic cyber hygiene should all hotel staff practice?
Absolutely. Staff are the first line of defense. Beyond spotting phishing, it's crucial to keep devices and systems updated. Regular data backups are essential for recovery.
Right.
Using up-to-date antivirus anti-malware. Strong password habits, unique, complex passwords, changed regularly. Being very wary of unexpected calls or emails from providers asking for logins or remote access. Always verify those.
Don't just trust the caller ID or email address.
Never. Maybe use different emails for different things. Don't use your main work email for random logins. And yeah, back to regular, engaging security training, covering all these threats. Empowering staff is vital.
Okay, so we've dug into PMS, facility management, cybersecurity individually. Now let's tie it all together. How do these three really interact in a hotel's daily life?
Yeah, this is where you see the connections clearly. The PMS, that operational hub with all the guest data, well, it runs on tech infrastructure.
Which FM looks after the servers, the network, the physical security of those systems.
Exactly. FM ensures the physical plant supporting the tech runs smoothly and securely. But here's the key. Both the PMS itself and the systems FM manages are prime targets for cyber attacks.
Right.
A breach in one area can easily cascade. If the PMS isn't hit, guest data is exposed, operations halt, reputation tanks. If FM systems controlling building access get hacked.
Desk safety is compromised. Huge liability.
Exactly. Everything is interconnected.
And those API integrations we talked about, making things more efficient, but also potentially riskier.
Absolutely. Integration is great for efficiency and guest experience, but yes, it creates more potential doorways for threats.
More connections mean more points to secure.
Precisely. If different platforms are talking and sharing data, a weakness in one could be exploited to get into others. It really demands a holistic security approach across everything. Securing systems in isolation just doesn't cut it anymore.
So it really boils down to this: investing in cool tech for the guest experience
Yeah.
and investing in robust cybersecurity. They aren't separate choices.
Not at all. They're two sides of the same essential coin for success and guest trust in today's hotel world. You absolutely need both.
Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a fascinating, really insightful deep dive. We've covered so much
You
ground,
really have.
from the PMS as the operational engine to facility management, keeping everything running safely behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and cybersecurity as that vital shield against the threats that are, let's face it, constantly evolving.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, everyone listening now has a much clearer, more solid understanding of these critical areas shaping hotels in 2025.
Yeah, hopefully it provides a really useful framework and it kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on, doesn't it? As tech keeps racing ahead, how will hotels strike that tricky balance? Between delivering those seamless, super personalized guest experiences
Right.
and dealing with increasingly sophisticated cyber threats. And what role will these integrated platforms we've discussed ultimately play in navigating that complex future?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Mm,
Balancing innovation and security,
yeah.
definitely something to keep watching closely.
For sure, it's a dynamic interplay that's constantly shifting.